A native of State Center, Iowa, he reached the state wrestling finals for West Marshall High School all 4 years, placing second as a freshman and winning the state championships his final 3 years. His career high school record from 1983 through 1986 was 123-3. Attending the University of Nebraska, he placed 6th at the NCAA tournament as a sophomore, 2nd as a junior, and was an NCAA champion as a senior in 1991. His overall career college record was 123-30 with 47 falls. At the 1990 NCAA tournament, in the semifinals, he beat an eventual Olympic gold medalist and the defending NCAA champion. And in 1991, he beat the defending NCAA champion and an eventual 2-time world champions to win his NCAA championship. He currently lives in Valentine, Nebraska, but he is no sweetheart to wrestle. Please welcome the 105th inductee into the Iowa Wrestling Hall of Fame, Jason Kelber.
Thank you, everybody, to the selection committee and the board of directors. I didn't really think that after you moved out of the state of Iowa, they let you back in or something like that. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that we would see this. But you reminded me, start off with opponents. I did have some great opponents, and they motivated me to train harder. And it reminds me of a line from a Jeremiah Johnson movie. I don't know if some of you know this or not, but the old man was talking to the young, the greenhorn, and he said sometimes the tribe's greatness is measured on how mighty his enemies be. And it has something to say about my career too. I did have some guys to beat that were pretty salty, and we had some go-rounds, and it was fun, every one of them. And I've always been one to love to compete in those big matches and when the lights were on at the end of the year and that kind of thing. But first, I need to thank Jim Steyer, my head coach, and Doug Deerdorf, my assistant coach in high school, preparing me. Turns out I had a lot to learn in college as far as technique. We had to change a lot of things, but they taught me how to work hard and get in shape and be mentally tough. And then that comes to my parents. I need to thank my parents. They taught me to work hard and do things right, otherwise you're doing it again. It didn't fly, that corner post didn't look right. I grew up on a farm down in central Iowa, and it needed to be done again. So it didn't help to go fast and get around those corners, So, and my brother sitting over there, my older brother, he's 3 years older than me, and we used to have some scraps. As a matter of fact, a lot of scraps. And his friends too, so it wasn't just him, it was his friends, and we had that. So that made me tough, and I tell you, that has a lot to do with where you dug deep to find something else to throw into the battle, because it didn't work. The first part of it didn't work. So. But I thank you. Then I got to thank my wife's parents. They're sitting over here. My wife's not here today. We got 4 kids. They're in school in Nebraska. We're 8-hour trip. I came over today, and we're coming back again next week. My grandma has passed away. She was 104 years old. And I owe some toughness to her, 104 years old. But we're coming back, so we got to bring him out of school next week, and so we decided that this trip I was just going to do solo. But, I got, like I said, a wife. She's from State Center, Iowa, too, and her parents are sitting over here. And we've been sweethearts since high school, and we got 4 kids, and we're running 6 different ways now. But it's a lot of fun. But and then the college coaches, I don't want to skip Tim Newman, Mark Cody, and Mark Perry were my coaches in college, and they, I had a question asked to me over here a little bit ago, and Jim Miller asked me, he says, "So how did you get out of Nebraska?" I said, "You got a nickel?" And he's like, "No." He didn't give me a nickel, by the way. I told the story, but if I had a nickel for every time anybody asked me that question, I'd be a rich man. I wouldn't have to work and do the insurance agency deal. But it was a kind of a, to answer that question. I love Iowa. I love being from Iowa. I'm proud to be from Iowa. I sing it to the hills out there, and they all kind of grit their teeth when I come around. But and it's a very honored place to be with this. And you know, the Iowa Hall of Fame means so much, you know, around the nation, and it means so much to me to be inducted here. So, but what was I was talking about how to go to Nebraska? Yeah. Well, it came down, I think, to getting away from the hog farm. That and the money was just a little better. It wasn't that much better, but also I had a good friend. They were offering a scholarship too, same high school, and it's a combination of things fit into it. And I thought, well, I want to get away and have the college experience. You know, if I'd have been going to Iowa State or something, God forbid, but I'd have been scooping hog manure on the weekends. So I thought maybe that would be good. That's true, isn't it? That was. No, but I had a good career at Nebraska, and they treated me right, and I just haven't seemed to get out of that state yet. I keep thinking I'll make it home to Iowa someday here, but right now I'm in western Nebraska, and it's just rolling hills and open country, and a little drier than here, of course. Not as much humidity, a lot of rivers and lakes, and I love to hunt and fish, and I'm kind of drive my wife crazy because I'm gone doing it every chance I get, and she's trying to get me to stay in the back fence and do the backyard stuff, but I keep wanting to jump the fence. And there's always a season. The next season for me now, it's not wrestling. Well, I help out with Valentine. I volunteer on there every day for practice. So. And we won the state last year. This year we got 4, so they're doing pretty good. But I haven't quite got away from it. And the kids wrestling too. I got a 7th grade boy, and he's pretty dear, obviously, to my heart, and he's doing good, and trying to. I said, you don't have to wrestle to take after the old man, you know, because he was pretty good at basketball, and all the people in the crowd would look at me when he'd make a reverse layup or something, and he's not going to wrestle. And I'm like, well, he can do whatever he wants to do, as long as he does it hard, you know. And he decided he made a commitment here last year or so that he really loves wrestling, so he's going towards it now. So you might see another Kelber on the horizon. Who knows? He takes after Mom more than me, though, with his body. He's a little slender, skinnier, you know. So he's going to have to learn how to use the legs. We already got that going. Anyway, thank you so much. I don't want to take too much time. We got a lot better things to come here. But thank you so much, and have a good day.